Hello dear students, today we will study the first lesson of English Reader, The Selfish Giant, written by Oscar Wilde, a famous writer. This beautiful story is about a giant, his garden and children who used to play in it. The garden was very beautiful, the trees were blooming, the flowers were tossing their heads, birds were singing. It was a very lovely scene to see them. Every afternoon, while returning from their schools, the children played in the garden. They had a very good time there. They enjoyed it, and it seemed as if the trees, the flowers, the birds, and the entire garden enjoyed with the children. It all was going on in the absence of the giant. Why? Because the giant had gone to visit his friend the ogre and had stayed with him for 7 years. When he returned home, he found that children used his beautiful garden as their playground. Now let's read the story and see what happened with the children, with the garden and the giant. Please take the page number 5 of your English Reader. Here I read the story from the lesson. Every afternoon, as they were coming from school, the children used to go and play in the giant's garden. It was a large, lovely garden with soft green grass. Here and there over the grass stood beautiful flowers like stars. The flowers were shining like stars. And there were 12 peach trees that in the springtime broke out into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl, and in the autumn bore rich fruit. The birds sat on the trees and sang so sweetly that the children used to stop their games to listen to them. "How happy we are here!" they cried to each other. One day the giant came back to his castle. He had been to visit his friend the Cornish ogre and had stayed with him for 7 years. When he arrived, he saw the children playing in the garden. "What are you doing here?" he cried in a very gruff voice, and the children ran away. "My own garden is my own garden," said the giant. "I will allow nobody to play in it but myself." So he built a high wall all round it and put up a notice board: "Trespassers will be prosecuted." So on your screen you can see some word meanings broke out from the first paragraph, third line. It means emerged or appeared. Blossoms, a flower or a mass of flowers. Third one is Cornish ogre, a giant belonging to Cornwall, a country in England. So Cornwall is the name of a country in England, and the people living in Cornwall are known as Cornish, and ogre is the name of the giant with whom this giant of our story had gone to visit and stayed with him for 7 years. Trespassers will be prosecuted. It means one who enters without permission will be punished. So now you learn all these meaning, and I will proceed with the explanation. So the first page deals with the description of the garden. Soft green grass, beautiful flowers shining like stars, peach trees covered with pink and pearl colored flowers during springtime and produced rich fruits during the autumn season. This beautiful atmosphere gave happiness to both the birds and the children. When the giant came back, he didn't want children to play in his beautiful garden. He told them to go away, and he built a high wall around it and put up a notice board: trespassers will be prosecuted. So the children were very sad.